Last month, a 78-year-old man named Richard went to bed feeling completely normal. He followed his usual routine, took his medications, watched the evening news, and turned in around 10 p.m. But at 3 a.m., his wife woke to the sound of his labored breathing. By the time paramedics arrived, Richard was in full cardiac arrest. The doctors later said that several of his common bedtime habits had created the perfect storm for a nighttime health emergency. What's truly shocking is that Richard didn't know he was putting himself at risk. Statistics show that for adults over 65, the risk of dying during sleep is nearly 3 times higher than at any other time of day. And the worst part? Most of these nighttime emergencies are connected to simple, everyday habits that seem completely harmless. In this video, I'm going to reveal 6 deadly bedtime habits that could be putting your life at risk if you're over 65. These aren't rare or unusual behaviors. They're common routines that millions of seniors follow every single night without realizing the danger. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changes to make tonight to protect yourself and your loved ones. Stay with me until the very end, because the last habit is something almost every senior does without thinking twice, and it could be the most dangerous of all. Deadly habit 1. Medication timing dangers. The first deadly bedtime habit involves something millions of seniors do every night: taking medications at the wrong time. You might think you're being responsible by faithfully taking your evening pills, but the timing could actually be putting you at serious risk. Dr. Michael Brewster, a leading geriatric pharmacologist, recently discovered that certain common medications can become significantly more dangerous when taken right before lying down. Blood pressure medications, for example, can cause your pressure to drop too low during sleep, when your heart rate naturally slows. This can lead to insufficient blood flow to vital organs, including your brain and heart. Consider what happened to Elaine, a 82-year-old who took her blood pressure medication right before bed for years without issues. After adding a new prescription for sleep, the combination caused her blood pressure to plummet during the night, resulting in a mini-stroke that could have been prevented with proper timing. Even more concerning are the hidden interactions that can occur when multiple medications are concentrated in your system during sleep. Your liver processes drugs more slowly after 65, meaning medications stay in your bloodstream longer. When you take everything at once before bed, these drugs can interact throughout the night when you're unconscious and unable to notice warning signs. The solution is surprisingly simple. Space out your evening medications according to their specific functions. Blood pressure medications should typically be taken 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Sleep aids should be the only medication taken directly before sleep. And always check with your pharmacist about optimal timing for your specific prescriptions. Many doctors don't adequately explain medication timing, focusing only on whether you take them daily. But for seniors, when you take your medication can be just as important as whether you take it at all. A simple adjustment to your medication schedule could literally save your life. Deadly habit number 2. The dangerous sleep position. The second deadly habit might surprise you. It's sleeping in the wrong position. Many seniors have been sleeping the same way for decades, never realizing that as they age, their preferred position could become increasingly dangerous. Back sleeping in particular becomes significantly more risky after 65. When you lie flat on your back, gravity pulls your relaxed tongue and soft tissues backward, partially blocking your airway. This creates the perfect conditions for sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. What makes this truly dangerous is that sleep apnea doesn't just disrupt your rest. It puts tremendous strain on your heart. Each time your breathing pauses, oxygen levels drop, triggering a stress response that spikes blood pressure and forces your heart to work harder. Over time, this nightly strain can lead to heart enlargement, arrhythmia, and even sudden cardiac death. A recent study published in the Journal of Sleep Medicine found that seniors who primarily sleep on their backs have a 44% higher risk of experiencing cardiovascular events during sleep compared to those who sleep on their sides. The research also revealed something surprising. The danger is significantly higher for those with undiagnosed sleep apnea, which affects nearly 70% of adults over 65. Take George, for example. At 68, he'd always slept on his back without issues. But after his wife noticed his breathing would stop for frightening periods during sleep, a doctor diagnosed severe sleep apnea. By simply changing to sleeping on his left side, his oxygen levels improved dramatically and his nighttime heart rate stabilized. The safest position for most seniors is sleeping on your left side with your knees slightly bent. This position optimizes breathing, reduces pressure on internal organs, and improves circulation. It's particularly beneficial for those with heart conditions, as it reduces the workload on your heart while sleeping. If you struggle to maintain a side sleeping position, try placing a firm pillow behind your back to prevent rolling onto your back. Body pillows can also help support your body in the optimal position throughout the night. It might feel strange at first if you're accustomed to back sleeping, but give yourself 2 weeks to adjust. Your body will gradually adapt to this healthier position. If you're watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment "position" below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next health video. Your support helps us continue creating content that could save lives. Deadly habit number 3. The temperature trap. The third deadly bedtime habit involves something most seniors get wrong: bedroom temperature. Many people over 65 keep their bedrooms too warm at night, not realizing this simple habit could be putting their health at serious risk. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating temperature. Many seniors feel cold more easily and naturally crank up the heat or pile on heavy blankets. But research from the Mayo Sleep Center shows that sleeping in a room warmer than 70 degrees can trigger a dangerous chain reaction in older adults. When your bedroom is too warm, your body struggles to achieve the slight temperature drop needed for deep, restorative sleep. Instead of cooling down, your core temperature remains elevated, keeping you in lighter sleep stages where your body and brain can't properly recover. This disrupts the production of essential hormones that regulate everything from blood pressure to glucose metabolism. More alarming is what happens to your cardiovascular system. In a warm sleeping environment, your heart must work harder to help dissipate heat, increasing your heart rate and blood pressure at a time when both should naturally decrease. For seniors with existing heart conditions, this additional strain can trigger serious events like arrhythmias or even heart attacks during the night. Consider Martha, who at 71 always kept her bedroom at 75 degrees and used an electric blanket. She frequently woke feeling exhausted despite sleeping 8 hours. After her doctor identified her overheated sleep environment as potentially dangerous, she lowered her bedroom temperature to 65 degrees. Within days, her sleep quality improved dramatically, and her morning blood pressure readings normalized for the first time in years. The optimal bedroom temperature for seniors is between 60–67 degrees, significantly cooler than most older adults prefer. This temperature range supports your body's natural nighttime cooling process, helps maintain healthy blood pressure, and promotes deeper sleep stages critical for cognitive function and immune health. If that feels too cold at first, try gradually lowering your thermostat by 1 degree each night until you reach the ideal range. Use layered bedding that can be easily adjusted, rather than one heavy comforter. Light, breathable cotton pajamas will help your body regulate temperature more effectively than synthetic materials that trap heat. For couples with different temperature preferences, consider using separate blankets with different weights, rather than compromising on room temperature. And remember, it's better to start with a cooler room and add a light blanket if needed, than to sleep in a warm environment that puts unnecessary strain on your heart throughout the night. Deadly habit number 4. Hidden hydration traps. The fourth deadly bedtime habit concerns hydration. Both drinking too much and too little before bed can create serious health risks for seniors that most people never consider. Many older adults deliberately limit fluids in the evening to avoid nighttime bathroom trips. While this seems logical, research from the National Institute on Aging reveals that going to bed even mildly dehydrated increases the risk of nighttime blood clots and strokes by up to 30% in adults over 65. During sleep, your body naturally becomes more concentrated as water is used for metabolic processes and not replaced. If you start the night already low on fluids, your blood can become dangerously thick by morning, creating the perfect conditions for clotting, especially in seniors with circulatory issues. Harold, 76, restricted all fluids after 6 p.m. to avoid disrupting his sleep. After experiencing a minor stroke during the night, his doctor discovered severe dehydration had contributed to blood thickening. By adjusting his hydration schedule, Harold was able to maintain better fluid balance while still sleeping through the night. Yet drinking large amounts right before bed creates a different set of risks. Beyond simply disrupting sleep with bathroom trips, excessive evening fluids can dilute electrolytes, potentially affecting heart rhythm during sleep. For seniors on diuretics or heart medications, this imbalance can be particularly dangerous. The solution isn't avoiding fluids entirely, It's creating a strategic hydration schedule. The optimal approach is drinking moderate amounts consistently throughout the day, with a slight tapering in the evening. A small glass of water, about 4 ounces, an hour before bed provides enough hydration to prevent blood thickening without overloading your system. Pay attention to warning signs that your hydration habits may be harmful. Morning headaches, dizziness upon waking, or unusually dark urine are all indicators of nighttime dehydration. Conversely, waking more than twice to urinate, swollen ankles in the morning, or unexplained nighttime heart palpitations could signal excess evening fluid intake. For those taking medications that affect fluid balance, working with your doctor to adjust medication timing around your hydration schedule can significantly reduce nighttime health risks. Something as simple as taking certain medications earlier in the day can make a tremendous difference in how your body processes fluids during sleep. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment "hydration" below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming health videos. Your support makes it possible for us to continue sharing this potentially life-saving information. Deadly habit number 5. The digital danger zone. The 5th deadly bedtime habit that puts seniors at risk involves technology use before sleep. But the danger goes far beyond simple sleep disruption that younger adults experience. Recent research from the Sleep Foundation has discovered that blue light exposure from phones, tablets, and TVs affects older adults differently and more severely than younger people. After age 65, your brain becomes more sensitive to light disruption, with studies showing that just 30 minutes of screen time before bed can suppress melatonin production for up to 4 hours in seniors, twice the effect seen in younger adults. This disruption does more than just make it harder to fall asleep. For seniors taking common medications like statins, blood thinners, or blood pressure drugs, altered melatonin levels can actually change how these medications work in your body overnight. This previously unknown interaction can reduce drug effectiveness or potentially increase side effects during sleep. Consider Janet, 70, who watched the news on her tablet every night before bed while taking her heart medication. Despite perfect compliance with her prescriptions, her blood pressure remained unstable until her doctor identified her pre-bed screen time as the likely culprit. After switching to listening to the news instead of watching it, her overnight blood pressure stabilized. The digital danger extends beyond medication interactions. The cognitive stimulation from news programs, social media, or even games keeps your brain in an alert state precisely when it should be winding down. For seniors, this heightened alertness increases nighttime stress hormones like cortisol, which directly affects heart rate, blood sugar, and inflammation levels throughout the night. The research is clear. All screens should be turned off at least 90 minutes before bedtime if you're over 65. This cutoff time allows your brain to resume normal melatonin production and begin the natural transition to sleep. If you must use devices in the evening, consider blue light blocking glasses specifically designed for seniors, which filter the most harmful wavelengths. Instead of electronic media before bed, try alternatives that promote better sleep quality. Reading physical books, not e-readers, with warm lighting, listening to calming music or audiobooks, or practicing gentle stretching can all help prepare your body and mind for restorative sleep without the digital risks. For those who use devices to stay connected with family in the evening, consider scheduling these important interactions earlier, ideally finishing video calls at least 2 hours before bedtime. The emotional stimulation from talking with loved ones, while beneficial for overall well-being, can make it harder for seniors to transition to sleep if it occurs too close to bedtime. Deadly habit number 6. The silent killer in your bedroom. We've finally reached the most overlooked yet potentially most dangerous bedtime habit: ignoring the air quality in your bedroom. This silent killer affects nearly every senior, yet few ever consider it a health risk. As we age, our respiratory systems become more vulnerable to air quality issues, yet many seniors sleep in bedrooms with surprisingly poor air. Research from Harvard Medical School found that overnight, oxygen levels can drop by up to 15% in seniors sleeping in rooms with suboptimal air quality, enough to significantly stress the cardiovascular system and increase the risk of heart-related events during sleep. What makes this particularly dangerous is that many common bedroom items release harmful particles or gases that accumulate during the night. Memory foam mattresses and pillows, while comfortable, can off-gas chemicals that irritate respiratory passages. Synthetic bedding materials trap dust mites and allergens close to your breathing zone. Even scented candles or air fresheners used to create a pleasant sleeping environment can release volatile compounds that subtly reduce oxygen uptake during sleep. Joseph, 73, slept poorly for years despite trying various sleep aids. After an overnight oxygen test revealed dangerously low levels, his doctor suggested improving his bedroom air quality. Simply removing synthetic air fresheners, adding a small air purifier, and replacing his polyester bedding with natural materials increased his nighttime oxygen levels by 12%, enough to significantly reduce his risk of a nighttime cardiac event. The connection between air quality and nighttime health extends beyond just breathing. When your oxygen levels fluctuate during sleep, your heart must work harder to distribute available oxygen to vital organs. This additional strain can gradually weaken cardiac function and increase blood pressure, creating a cumulative effect that builds over hundreds of nights. Creating healthier bedroom air doesn't require expensive equipment. Start by removing any synthetic fragrance sources from your bedroom, including plug-ins, sprays, and scented candles. Open windows for 15 minutes during the day to allow fresh air circulation, even in winter. Position your bed away from walls shared with garages or laundry rooms where chemical fumes may seep through. For bedding, natural materials like cotton, wool, or bamboo allow better airflow and harbor fewer allergens than synthetic options. Washing bedding weekly in hot water eliminates dust mites that can trigger subtle respiratory issues during sleep. And keeping humidity between 40–60% helps prevent both mold growth and overly dry air that can irritate respiratory passages. Perhaps most importantly, resist the urge to close off your bedroom completely. Many seniors tightly seal their sleeping spaces for temperature control or noise reduction, not realizing this traps potentially harmful air inside. A cracked window or door provides essential ventilation that can dramatically improve oxygen levels throughout the night. Final thoughts. Your action plan tonight. We've covered 6 deadly bedtime habits that could be putting your health at risk if you're over 65. From medication timing and sleep position to room temperature, hydration, screen exposure, and air quality, each of these factors plays a crucial role in nighttime health and safety. The good news is that making these changes doesn't require expensive equipment or complicated routines. Small adjustments to your evening habits can dramatically reduce your risk of nighttime health emergencies and help you wake feeling more refreshed and energetic. Tonight, start by implementing just 1 or 2 of these changes. Take your blood pressure medication a few hours earlier than usual. Try falling asleep on your left side instead of your back. Lower your thermostat a degree or 2. Have a small glass of water an hour before bed. Turn off all screens 90 minutes before sleep. Or crack your bedroom windows slightly for better air circulation. Over the next few weeks, gradually incorporate the remaining recommendations until you've created a comprehensive sleep environment that supports your health rather than putting it at risk. Remember Elaine, whose story I shared at the beginning of our video? After experiencing a frightening nighttime health scare, she made all 6 of these changes to her routine. 3 months later, her doctor was amazed by her improved vital signs, better sleep quality, and reduced medication needs. At 82, she now wakes with more energy than she had in her 70s. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this important video. If you found it valuable, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about who might benefit from this information. Your support helps us continue creating content that could literally save lives. In our next video, we'll be covering the morning habits that complement these evening changes for a complete 24-hour health approach. Until then, sleep well and stay healthy.